competition between your Sultan Charts and Marconi Stallions. Kickoff will be underway shortly, and DJ Christoph will take it away with the tunes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sutherland Sharks and Marconi Stallions.
Good afternoon and welcome to Seymour Shore, as there's plenty of cause for optimism around the ground as the Sharks look to make it 2 wins on the bounce right here. But it won't be easy. In their way stand the Marconi Stallions, who'll be keen to avenge their home derby loss last week. It's the Sutherland Sharks hosting the Marconi Stallions right here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Will Constantinidis on commentary for you this afternoon, and we've got your Saturday serving of NPL sorted, starting right here in the Shire. Perfect conditions for football right here, and we'll get straight to the team. You're starting first with Steve Zorich's team, the Sutherland Sharks. As mentioned, they come off a home win, their first win of the season. 1-0 it was against Sydney Olympic with Jane McGowan on the score sheet. They knocked off one second division bound side last week. Can they do it again this week? Steve Zorich makes 2 changes to that squad, with Kotaro Katsuda and Ethan Bevan coming to the 11. Both were out of the squad last week. As for the rest of the starting lineup, it goes like this. In goal is number 1, Nanad Vekic. Number 4, Mitchell Stamatelis. Alongside him in the back line is number 5, Takahide Umabachi. Number 6 is Samuel Giulisano, the former Marconi man. Number 9 is Max Green. Number 10, Mason Fernandez. Number 11, Jay McGowan. Number 15, Matthew Morich. Number 26, Jacob Garner, and the 2 new inclusions are number 2, Kotaro Katsuda, and number 23, Ethan Bevan. As for Peter Sekenis' side, the high-flying Stallions were brought down at the hands of their Derby d'Italia rivals, Arpia Leichhardt, a 90th minute goal handing them their first loss of the season. They've looked like one of the premier sides of the competition, and for good reason, and they'll be favourites away from home right here this afternoon. They're unchanged from that loss. Still no James Temelkovsky due to injury, and no Dom Costanzo due to that suspension. Their lineup goes like this. In goal is number 1, James Hilton. Number 2, Nathan Milgate. Number 3 is Cameron Windust at the back with him, alongside number 4, Anton Milinaric. Number 7 is Franco Meyer. Number 8, Daniel Bowman. Number 10, the captain leading the line, Marko Jesic. Number 11 is Hiroaki Aoyama. Number 17, Miroslav Popovic. Number 18 is George Daniel. And number 23 is Brandon Vella. And we are all set for this one right here at Seymour Shore. As mentioned, one side got their first win last week, the other their first loss. And the Sharks, who had a rough start to those first 4 games, as mentioned, cause for optimism, cause that they can get themselves back into the season. The season for 2023 for them was one marred by troubles, one spent in the bottom half of the ladder. As I want to avoid starting that way again this season, as it's kickoff for the Stallions, and they'll immediately look towards Miroslav Popovic. Giulisano denies them progress, and up he goes again. This time Popovic beats him in the air. Here's Aoyama. Pass was intended for Jesic. A bit of a scrap on the near side here as Popovic combines with Aoyama once more. Aoyama looking for Jesic in the middle. It's cleared away. Hooked away from danger by Max Green, the new signing in the sky blue of the Sutherland Sharks this season. Still waiting for that first goal in Sharks colours. For the Sharks last season, it was characterised as strong defensively and not as strong offensively. It's largely continued rather again this season. They're just the 4 goals in their first 5 games, compared to the free-scoring Stallions, who had scored 2 goals in every game prior to last week, make that 9 on the season. Milgate goes around the back line to Anton Milinaric. Here is Vella. Now Windust. The Stallions moving it quickly. In no hurry, happy to keep possession. They'll know the Sharks are more likely to sit off and stand their ground defensively, as here is Meyer. Chance to go at his defender and crosses, deflected. Garner does well to avoid the corner, but it's still in the hands of the Stallions. Meyer tries again with the cross, this time a bit more on it. A couple of deflections and the Sharks are able to see it away. Here's McGowan. Has to be careful, the press is coming. Katsuda. Green laying it off for Katsuda. Strong in the hold-up play. The Sharks on the counter. Katsuda. Springing it wide. Morich. Attack comes to an end for the Sharks, and there's the pattern of the game that we'll likely see continue for the rest of the 90. The visitors, the Marconi Stallions, keeping possession deep in Sutherland's half, and Sutherland attempting to break forward as quickly as possible down the other end. And they're not an easy side to break down, the Sharks. They've already got 2 clean sheets to their name in just the 5 games they've played. Contrast that to their opponents, the Marconi Stallions. They're still yet to keep their first clean sheet of the season. Garner heads it down for Umabachi. Here's Stamatellis, and bounce might cause a bit of trouble for Vekic, who takes no risks. Green able to get a vital toe on it and keep going with McGowan. The Sharks have numbers. Pass just behind Max Green, but still in the attacking third for Sutherland. Mason Fernandez caught on it, but it's still with Katsuda. Wayward shot from Gulasano, the former Marconi Stallion. Spent more time with their 20s last season. Played 21 games for them across their first grade and under 20 side, 9 starts. Be quite something to get his first goal in for his new side against his former side from left back, no less. Jesic holding it up, has Garner all over his back. Meyer thought about the switch, but the Sharks were circling. Fernandez rides the first challenge. He's looking for McGowan. He's the danger man for Sutherland this season. He's already had 2 goals to his name. And Marconi will take the time to slow things down. Meyer, or rather, there's Meyer on the ball now, and he's almost sold his defence short, but quick thinking from Milinaric, and here's Milgate, who got on the score sheet last week. Nathan Milgate hadn't scored for all of 2023 and pops up in the Derby d'Italia with a vital header. Gave his side the lead, the opener, and fortunately for the Stallions, the quality of the Marconi attack was too much for them. A 90th minute goal against your Derby rivals to hand in their first loss of the season. Milinaric was looking for Hiroaki Oyama, chested down by Stamatellis and hooked away from goal, but only as far as Stallions midfield as Meyer twists and turns and finds the pass to Popovic. Jesic looking to combine. And just looking at Miroslav Popovic, he might have taken a knock somewhere in the chaos of midfield. It's an unforgiving synthetic pitch here in Sutherland. McGowan has his head up, has Green to his right, goes himself, but that's strong defending by Nathan Milgate. Good distribution by James Hilton, and the bounce just getting away from Vela. Between these sides last season in 2023, the Sharks were the ones who got the better of the Stallions, a real bogey side for Marconi in 2023. They played out a 0-0 draw in round 2022, or round 22 of 2023 last season. But Marconi Stadium, it was the Sharks who got the upset victory, 2-0 winners on that day. No nonsense from Vekic, and Windus, the former Central Coast Mariner, takes no chances and is happy to let his side reset. Good play by Popovic. Jesic has his head up and immediately looking for Meyer, but that's far too close to Nenad Vekic. And those quick passes in midfield by Marconi, if they're to unlock this rigid Sutherland Sharks defence. That has to be the way forward. Lining up in 4-4-2 with Oyama and Jesic, the leading men. Bowman and Vela in midfield with Popovic and Maya flanking them. Here's Millgate. Plenty of touches early for the Stallions in their traditional green, white and red. And they'll certainly feel the loss of Temilkovsky and Costanzo, as they did last week. Their chief creator in Costanzo and their big off-season signing from South Australia, James Temilkovsky, the Golden Boot winner in the South Australian NPL last season, brought in to replace Geordie Swibble. Not easy to replace all those goals, but Jesic and Oyama up front, more than capable of popping up when needed for Peter Sekenis. Jesic does love a goal against the Sutherland Sharks. He scored against them both times back in 2022. And Mabachi wins the second ball. Katsuda. Garner. Now Nenad Vekic. Throw in one by George Daniel on the far side. Another one of the Central Coast Academy contingent that's come across to Marconi. Both him and Cameron Windust signing in the off-season alongside Dylan Susovic, who's also on the bench. He was their striker last season, Susovic. So Marconi side that's gotten quite young in the off-season, as have a lot of these national second division sides, with an eye on 2025. But all eyes on the task ahead right here at Seymour Shore is Vekic looking for Max Green, who wins the flick on. Now it's down with McGowan, but a bit too heavy on the touch, and Mlinaric can play out with Daniel. Maya drifting inside. Here's Jesic, but Katsuda was drifting across the midfield to intercept. Turn by Katsuda, and he's gotten away from the defenders, but there's not all that much in the way of support. Half-hearted shouts for handball, but I think the arm of Anton Mlinaric was close enough to his body to evade further sanction, and it's the Sharks who get the corner. Good opportunity for them to make use from set pieces. It'll be Gulisano. Plenty of tall timber to aim for. You've got Samatellis and Umabachi, both more than capable in the air, as is Max Green, who's made himself known early. Here comes the corner. Floated away and over the crossbar, and the Stallions get a breather at the back. Here is Millgate. Looks long for a pass between the lines. Intercepted. Here's Katsuda. Trying to dribble his way past the Stallions midfield and finds a good pass if he can get around to Jay McGowan, but that's an important sliding challenge by Cameron Windust. Had to time it perfectly. Jay McGowan was lurking around the corner. Gulisano again to take. The in-swinging right-footed delivery this time. This time it's much better and punched away by Hilton. Max Green was arriving late at the back post, hoping it would fall to him. Both sets of coaches getting into their sides early. Again, Marconi find themselves in a familiar position, just under 15 minutes gone. Still no score, but they've had more than the majority of possession. It's just been about finding that cutting edge rather in the final third. But for now, still plenty of avenues to goal. They have to be wary of the Sharks, who have looked dangerous on the counter, as Marconi might have a counter of their own. Here is Marko Jesic. In comes the cross. Again, Garner's there. He's done well to make the box a difficult area to get into for the Stallions, as they continue to look for those crossing opportunities. Marko Jesic, the intended target on most of the occasions so far. Popovic, who swapped wings with Meyer. Oyama goes back to Miloslav Popovic. Searches for options ahead of him. Didn't find any. Wanted to go backwards, and Marconi cough up possession. Green has the option wide if he can find him. Is brought down temporarily, but the advantage continues. Here's Max Green. McGowan goes one way, then the other. Drops it back for Fernandez. And foul on Max Green. He was sliding in late on Nathan Milgate. Again, despite the fact that Sutherland haven't had the majority of the ball, do not count them out. They don't waste any time getting forward, and they look good when they do so. Two contrasting attacking philosophies here at Seymour Shore this afternoon. McGowan wins the first header. Fernandez wins the second. As Max Green is trying to get around Milinaric. Milgate allows it to bounce, and that's well done by Max Green, the young number 9. As that will be another Sutherland corner, their third in the opening 15 minutes, as now the hosts are starting to get more into it. Now if they get the lead, Sutherland, they're more than capable of holding it with how good they are defensively. Gulasano. In comes the corner. Again, it's dangerous towards the back post, and almost a repeat of what we saw a couple minutes ago with Max Green hoping for a mistake from James Hilton at the back post, and this time Hilton gets a strong palm to it, but it will force Sam Gulasano again to whip one in against his former side. That in-swinging right-footed delivery with Gulasano. This time it'll be the outswinger. Flat delivery. Up goes Stamatelis. Cleared away for now, but it's still with McGowan. McGowan, another dangerous delivery. Headed wide by Milinaric, and it's an aerial assault so far on the Marconi box. Nice crowd packed into Seymour Shore. They're well supported, the Sutherland Sharks. Love their football down here in the Shire, and when the Sharks are in form, it's a great place to be. Long throw intended for Max Green. It comes out. It's back with Green again. Important toe in by Bowman, and seen away from danger. Sharks looking to ride this wave of momentum they've built for themselves. It's not easy. Either side with a major chance to report on. KG opening 17 minutes or so here. So here is Hilton. Now Garner has his head up. Finds Katsuda. Good touch to get away from George Daniel in midfield, but good covering defence equally by Milinaric. Him and Milgate have been probably the busiest Marconi players on the park so far. of defensive work for the Stallions. Equally, a lot of controlled possession to feed at the back. Umabachi beats Oyama in the air, and I think Umabachi might have accidentally stepped on Hiroaki Oyama, who loses out to Fernandez. Pack of Marconi defenders in the way, and that's a good ball by Milinaric to find Miloslav Popovic, who's come back over to this wing. Good play by Brandon Vella to force the Sharks into the corner, but still no give in this defense. Skill by Katsuda in midfield, and they come the other way over, and that's a late challenge by Vella, and more of a talking to. Sorry, Ethan. And there's a bit of sorting out to do, as Stamatelis wasn't happy. Stamatelis had eyes up for Jay McGowan, but easy pickings for James Hilton. Here's Popovic. Milgate goes long. Jesic comes down with it, just a bit behind Miloslav Popovic, and he was trying to keep the attack alive, but it's a game of fine margins right now, and the Stallions get going forward. Popovic, and that was an easy call for the assistant on this near side. Just going a bit too early was Miloslav Popovic, the man who scored Marconi's first goal of the season against the Wolves in round one. Still yet to pick up his second, but no doubt the former Ollie Roo will find the back of the net soon enough for appearances for the national team under 23s. He's a well-travelled man. Here's Miloslav Popovic. Of course, Australian football fans will be familiar with him from his short stint at Marconi. But he's been all throughout Europe, through Luxembourg, Bulgaria, Austria and Germany. Strong signing for Peter Sakanis and the Marconi Stallions. Here he is contesting with McGowan and gets a foot in the way. Weak pass from Umabachi has sold Gulisano short, and Jesic puts enough pressure on to win the Stallions to throw in deep inside Sharks territory. And for Marconi, they found it difficult away from home in 2024 and the back end of 2023. The round 4 away win against Olympic was their first away win since round 19 in 2023. That's back in June. As Jesic tries the long throw, kept in by Windus, but only to the benefit of Sutherland. But yeah, their away form for the Marconi Stallions went away towards the back end of last season. They weren't too bad away from Marconi Stadium. 7 wins in their 15 matches. That's 3 draws and 5 losses last season. This season, it's been 100% record. 1 away game and 1 away win. They'll look to keep that going here in the Shire as Stamatelis, a veteran presence at the back. As Miloslav Popovic has gone down in back play here. He's on his back needing treatment, and this might force an early change for Peter Sakanis as that stoppage in play comes now. He's on his back, clutching his thigh at the moment. Now Peter Sakanis might have to look to his bench as Physio's just doing some tests on that knee of Miloslav Popovic. Looks like he's all right enough to continue. A substitution might actually be coming here as we Look at Miloslav Popovic making his way onto the bench as we'll see who comes on for Peter Sekenis. And it looks like it's going to be Jonathan Suarez. So the first change of the game is a forced one, and Miloslav Popovic heads down the tunnel. His afternoon comes to an end after under 25 minutes, and that might prompt a bit of a reshuffle with Brandon Vela moving out to right wing in place of Popovic as Suarez goes on in midfield. Maya is fouled, and good opportunity here. For Marconi from the set piece. It's been rare they've gotten deep field position in the last 10 minutes or so. As Sam Kelly just making sure this one gets taken from the spot. It'll be a 6th appearance of the season for Suarez coming on rather. Just the one start for him so far is to come off the bench in a high quality Marconi lineup. This delivery will come in from Maya. Left footed, in swinging, takes a deflection off the wall. Mlinaric was in the play. Stays alive for the Stallions. Here is Hiroaki Aoyama. Has a look into the box. Sees Cameron Windust in there, who's battling for it with Stamatelis, and Stamatelis between a veteran centre-back and a young centre-back. This time the veteran wins out. Aoyama to take. That's a short option in Brandon Vela, but it doesn't look likely. Instead, in swinging towards the near post, Umabachi got up for it quickly and had to be absolutely spot on with that header. Maya, who's looked the more lively of any of the Marconi attackers so far. Both sides won it, and Marconi get the corner. It's been a busy man out in the middle so far, Sam Kelly. Aoyama again to deliver. This time a bit more length on the cross, and it's not an in, but there's a foul. As Cameron Windust thought he had the opener and thought he had the first goal for his new club, but was denied by the whistle of Sam Kelly, a push in back play. The perfect corner routine, and maybe it was perfect because of that foul. Hiroaki Aoyama put it right on the money for Cameron Windust. But a quick whistle, and there was no doubt in the call from the official as a warning shot fired, and it's the first one by the Marconi Stallions. You can just see the conviction with which Cameron Windust came flying through the box for that header. As is always the case with centre-backs, when they get the header, their eyes light up, and he powered it into the back of the net, but it won't go down as a goal. He waits for his first in Marconi colours. As looking back at the replay, I think it's Marko Jesic who is the guilty man. He was impeding Nenad Vekic, a bit too much for the officials' liking. So Marconi, the side who have, as we said, they're yet to keep a clean sheet, but equally they're still yet to be kept scoreless. Scored in every game in 2024. 2 goals each from rounds 1 to 4, and then just the 1 goal against RPL Leichhardt in the Derby d'Italia. Mlinaric. Now Milgate. Asks for options and goes to Oyama, but a bit too acute on the pass. As Fernandez and Max Green not on the same wavelength there. So it's fast stuff in midfield. Stamatellis tries to turn through trouble and wins himself a foul in the process. Stamatellis. Sharks just trying to calm things down and slow this attacking onslaught of the Marconi Stallions has picked up in the last 5 minutes or so. It's been a game that's been largely played out in the middle of the park. Both sides with just 2 central midfielders with a 4-4-2 each way. Here's Milgate. Looks for Jesic, who has a task on his hands to keep it in, and asking a bit too much of their captain and their number 10 there. Green. Stallions wanted a foul on him for being a bit too enthusiastic in the back there. Gulisano. Green, important touch. Here's Katsuda. Coughed up by the Stallions, but they have to get back here. McGowan. Fernandez trying to get around Milgate. Does so at the second attempt. Katsuda again. The Sharks moving it around the back. Umabachi, one-touch football. Again, just no way through for either side right now. It's been mostly through set pieces that they've actually looked the most dangerous, whether it's the Sharks looking for Max Green at the back post or the Stallions with their disallowed goal to Cameron Windust. Nothing much to report on in open play so far. Garner received it off Bevan. Moric, who's probably been the quieter of the 2 wingers between him and Jay McGowan. Here is Moric. Good shepherding by substitute Jonathan Suarez, and wanted the goal kick, but it's deflected off the corner post. As Mlinaric is being told to go right back to the goal line. Goes for distance on the throw. Put back into the mix by Garner. Now McGowan can go onto his left in a foot race to beat Milgate there. Here's Jay McGowan. Tries on his right. An acrobatic save by James Hilton at full stretch, and he needed to be. A curling effort from Jay McGowan to test the Marconi custodian. An important save as well. Jay McGowan just looking for the slightest of avenues to work the shot. Trying to curl it into the side netting, and it'll be another corner for the hosts. Gulisano again. His delivery's been on the money in the opening half an hour. This time low into the mix. Here's McGowan! And they get the goal, the Sutherland Sharks. Not to be denied this time, Jay McGowan. His shot was saved just a moment ago. And this time he found the back of the net for his third of 2024. Make it goals in back-to-back games for the Sutherland number 11. Last week against Olympic and this week against Marconi. Marconi paid the price for not clearing it as it came back out to Jay McGowan. First time finish on his right foot. And it's the hosts who draw first blood at Seymour Shore. And a different delivery it was this time from Sam Gulisano. We saw him go for the back post before. Go for a bit more height. This time it's lower to the ground, bouncing, causing troubles for the defence. No one stepped up to clear it from Marconi. A couple of Sutherland players made attempts at it. Jay McGowan in the right place into the bottom corner. Goal number 3 on the year for him. He had 11 last season, but they were all for St. George FC in League One. It was a mid-season signing from St. George to the Shire. It's not the furthest distance to go. But he's made a good start to 2024. 3 goals in 6 games for the youngster. And we said both teams hadn't looked likely from open play. If the goal was going to come, it was likely to be from a set piece. And Marconi, who had a goal disallowed from a corner, find themselves 1-0 down from a corner down the other end. Oyama has a set piece of his own here. 5 in from the sideline. 16 yards or so away from the goal line. An in-swing left-footed delivery. This will put pressure on Nenad Vekic. Here it comes. Oyama. Cleared away by Umabachi, only as far as Millgate, who might have been in with his second in 2 games there. Marconi's second centre-back, but I think Umabachi got enough on it to catch Millgate off guard. Mlinaric. Here's Windust. Oyama tries to dance along the sideline and he runs out of room. And Oyama has to be careful here. I understand he's a bit frustrated and referee's just given Hiroaki Oyama a please explain. And for Marconi, they probably didn't envision themselves being 1-0 down to Sutherland. They certainly are the favourites. For how rigid Sutherland are at the back, they can be a frustrating team to play against, especially when they're here at Seymour Shore, buoyed on by their home fans. And as we said, when they get the lead, they're very good at holding on to it. 1-0 at home against Olympic it was last week. A similar story with Jay McGowan on the score sheet. Steve Zorich's side looking to repeat the trick 2 weeks in a row. Bowman, who hasn't had all that much possession in midfield. That's how tight it's been out there. Max Green, one of the hands in the back. He might still come down with it. Fernandez keeps possession. Looking for Green again. Could this be Sutherland's second as Millgate was contact in the challenge, but he got plenty of the ball as only half-hearted shouts from the fans in the stands. And again, that's the danger of Sutherland. They're so quick on the counter-attack. And when Marconi commit numbers forward, that's when the likes of Max Green, Jay McGowan, and even out on the far side, Matthew Morridge, that's when they get involved. Windust. and Millgate. Mlinaric. Daniel and Meyer. Rather, Daniel presses forward as was Bowman dropping into that left back position. Contest in the air. Neither side wants it. Katsuda takes it instead as again given away. Oh, that's a bad challenge there by Matthew Morich in the back of George Daniel. And so that wait for a clean sheet continues for Marconi, still yet to get one in 2024. More than comfortable scoring as mentioned as Meyer whips in. And Mbachi followed it all the way. He's looked good defending these set pieces as slashing at it was Hiroaki Oyama. Still waiting for his first goal. The season is Oyama. 3 goals he had in 2023 after coming across from Blacktown City the prior year. And Advekic. Max Green, there he is again, looking for everything in the air. Katsuda goes in on Oyama. Good turn by Meyer, but he only turned into Katsuda. I'm not sure if he knew he was there. Windust. And Vela. Again, Brandon Vela is shut down. Not a lot of progress on this right wing. Gulasano has been strong against his former side. Jesic has 2 players in the back as the advantage continues, and it wasn't accruing, says the referee. Stamatellis and I think Gulasano, both of them were eager to put some pressure on Marko Jesic, and 2 hands in the back. It's an easy call for the official. Franco Meyer, who's looked the more lively of the Marconi attackers, the former St. George City man. Just the 1 goal to his name this season. That was back against Olympic in round 4 as he's pushing the troops towards the back stick here. Very tricky customer when he gets his foot on the ball, Meyer. This time it'll be from a set piece. Left-footed delivery, it's flat. Again, Sutherland, they're very organised at the back. They're not giving up things easily as Mlinaric, first man into the book. And this might force us up here. I think it's Matthew Morich who's down on the deck.
During this time, the College Sharks would like to thank all of their major partners, including Pipe King, the Records.
You see Mlinaric coming across late and a little bit high as Matthew Morich is clearing the ball. He's fallen on his back here, and this might force a substitution potentially for Steve Zorich. He has Luke Sawyer on the bench. He started last week. Also on the bench is Chris Lindsay, Jordan Roberts, James Kokoski, Liam Rippon, and the goalkeeper Jacob Kremen-Cowan. Morich looks fine enough to continue. He'll have to exit the field of play though. But Mlinaric, first man into the referee's book. The former Brisbane Roar defender, the 21-year-old. Again, part of this youthful influx that Peter Sakanis and the Marconi Stallions have brought in over the summer. Spent time with the Oakleigh Cannons down in Victoria last season. And so just a handful of minutes remaining in the first half. You'd have to think we'll have a decent amount of stoppage time due to that injury to Miloslav Popovic and the stoppage we just had for Matthew Morich. Bevan. Back with it again is Ethan Bevan. Morich, who has gotten up and goes back down again. He's fouled again and again. Matthew Morich probably feeling a bit annoyed at the moment. And he's having a chat to the official on the far side. Him and Franco Meyer are engaged in a friendly discussion. And so Sutherland will look to add to this lead before they head into the sheds at half-time. A good position to be in 1-0 at home. Maybe can get a second here. It'll be Gulisano again from the set piece. Dangerous delivery. Up goes Morich. Milgate wins it. Now Fernandez tries, and a foul amongst all that chaos in the box. Milgate asks for options. He's forced to go long again, Nathan Milgate. Jesic brings it down as Gulisano goes for distance. Neither side able to bring it under their clear control. Instead, it's Suarez who does so. And he looks for Marco Jesic. Has Garner in pursuit. Lovely pass to find Vela. Rides the challenge of McGowan, who has to be careful. Still with Vela, cutting it back and just needed a header. But a little bit too high for Meyer to get up for it. In it comes again. Samatellas clears. Oh, strong there from Windust. All ball, says the referee. And a head clash on Mason Fernandez. Another stoppage in the first half from Seymour Shaw. So we wait confirmation from the fourth official as to how much additional time there'd be. And I think this stoppage might influence that a little bit. Just the 2 minutes, says Jackson Tippett on the sideline. So Fernandez, looks like there's no blood thankfully, but he'll have to come off either way. Fernandez, who joined Sutherland from the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy, 23 appearances for him last season and 11 starts. Been a key figure already for Sutherland. He's looked lively in that number 10 jersey. Windust wins the header, but it's only into the Sutherland bench as Steve Zorich isn't the happiest with how they worked it out from the back there. Gulisano. Windust wins it again. And Mabachi thought Morich was a bit further away from him. He tucked in the winger. And as we well into the second minute of stoppage time here. If you joined us late, it was Jay McGowan's goal, the difference. It's a game that's been characterised by opportunities from set pieces as opposed to open play. Cameron Windust had a goal from a corner ruled out. Just a couple of minutes later that the post took the lead. So maybe one last roll of the dice before the break here for Marconi. Meyer to put this one in. Garner and Stamatellis go up for it. The flag is up in any case as Milanoric tried it. This might be the last action of the half from Nenad Vekic before we hear the whistle for half-time. A good half for the Sutherland Sharks, one that's gone to plan. And it's Jay McGowan's goal from the corner that's the difference at the break. Will Constantinides on commentary for you in this first half. We'll see you back soon for the second 45. Welcome back to Seymour Shore for the second 45. It's the Sutherland Sharks who are in the ascendancy. That goal to Jay McGowan difference at the break. But Marconi had their chances. They had a disallowed goal as well. With Cameron Windust flying high from a corner, but a foul from Marko Jesic on the keeper, Nenad Vekic. He's got the referee's whistle and got his attention. And for Sutherland, it was Jay McGowan last week, and it was a 1-0 win at home against Olympic. And they'll be looking for more of the same. We'll keep an eye on any changes. Of course, Marconi were forced into a change. It was Miroslav Popovic coming off for Jonathan Suarez early in the first half. Other than that, they look about the same as Ayama goes up for it. Stamatelis sends it forward. Here goes Bowman, who tries, and Nenad Vekic was backpedaling. Would have taken something special to beat him from there. Milinaric tracked the header well. Meyer nods it on for Bowman. Bowman, who was in midfield during the first half, he's now up front with Marko Jesic. And Oyama, who was previously partnering Jesic, has dropped into Bowman's place in midfield. Milinaric takes no chances, goes forward. Green, lovely turn in a tight space as Katsuda thought he was impeded by Milinaric. Referee says he wasn't. Sharks looking for back-to-back wins and back-to-back clean sheets. Won't be easy. Marconi have had their opportunities as Umabachi went in quickly as Bowman still has it. Searching for a bit of space. Wasn't coming. McGowan. Marconi thought he handled it, but he didn't. Oyama takes one, takes two, and is fouled. And he's in a hurry. And now a bit more housekeeping for the referee to do here is Oyama again. We've seen him fouled on a number of occasions. He's not the happiest man out there right now, but Sam Kelly doing well to keep things under control for the time being. So Meyer, this one's right in front. Marconi have had more set pieces in wider areas, more crossing opportunities. It'll take something special to beat Nenad Vekic from this sort of range, but something for him to think about nonetheless. Meyer goes for the cross. Took a touch from Milinaric on the way through. A low effort, driving through the wall. Bevan. And Garner. Here's Stamatelis. Gulisano, who will be credited with the assist. You'd like to hope so. It was his corner that found the feet of Jay McGowan, even if it took the slightest of deflections on the way through as Marconi failed to clear. Getting an assist against his former club, Sam Gulisano. Millgate steps in to send it back to Sutherland backline. Daniel is under pressure, the bounce evading him. Moric nips in to combine with Fernandez, but they're unable to keep it. There's Moric again. Max Green. Milinaric, it's all in the air right now. Windust continues his run forward. Vela. Receives it back off Windust. Marconi playing it around. Oyama takes one. Couldn't get around him. As March looks to get clear of the Marconi defense, but can't do so. Fernandez. Not sure if he got something on that, but He's able to keep going, and Milinaric has allowed him back into play. Fernandez has Green in the box. Can go himself. Fernandez unselfishly to McGowan, but the touch was heavy. Oh, a bicycle kick there from Fernandez, but didn't look like it was going close to goal off the boot anyway. But that's the danger of Mason Fernandez, the number 10. Milinaric thought he had more time than he did, and that allowed Mason Fernandez to keep the attack alive. It looked like all he had in the box was Max Green, but he somehow spotted the third man run of Jay McGowan. Wanted to take a touch and shoot, and might have been better off going first time there, the young winger. Looking for his second of the game. Again, another warning shot by Sutherland. They're so dangerous on the counter-attack. As Bowman didn't know the throw was going his way there. Certainly Sutherland, who started the half the brightest. That's probably the best chance in open play of the game there. As Jesic looks to make one of his own. Back out to Vela. Keeper is the cry from Nenad Vekic, and he easily takes that one into his grateful arms. Nenad Vekic, who might not have the happiest memories of playing against Marconi through his time at Wollongong last season. They conceded 6 goals to Marconi, did the Wollongong Wolves, in their 2 games in 2023, including one in a 5-1 loss. So he'd love to put a clean sheet on the board against the Stallions right here at Seymour Shore. As Suarez looks to spot Vela, but he's overcooked the pass, and that'll be a Sharks goal kick. Sutherland, they found it difficult at home last season. 4 wins in their 15 games here, including 6 losses and 5 draws. So far, it's been 1 draw, 1 win, 1 loss. Looking to make this place a fortress. It can be a difficult place to come to. That's being shown right here as Marconi have been largely shut out on the attacking end. Mostly due to Sutherland's dogged defensive work, but you'd have to think in part due to the absence of key players like Dom Costanzo and James Temulkovsky. A pair of them have combined for 6 of Marconi's 9 goals. That's a big hole to leave. The 5 of Marconi's 6 goals. Sorry, 9 goals that is. So over 50%. Morich strong in the tackle, no foul. Umabachi gets it past 1. Was looking for Fernandez and no advantage coming. I'll put it on the deck. Umabachi just waits for the options. So Gulisano again. Certainly crossing from this type of range as Stamatellis makes his way to the back post. Umabachi's gone short instead. Stamatellis is where it goes, but too close for James Hilton. Meyer doesn't have that much in front of him. Has spotted the switch, though, of Jesic, and that's a delightful ball across the park. Jesic. Windust. Now the numbers come forward for Marconi. Oyama looking for Bowman, but he was in a good position. Couldn't direct the header with enough power forward onto goal. Umabachi cushions the header well for Morich and gets it back. Quick play with Fernandez. Looking to unleash Jay McGowan. And again, Milinaric couldn't dawdle in possession. Jesic knew he was offside and didn't bother contesting it. And so for Sutherland, who got their first win of 2024 last week and their first win stretching back 9 games into 2023, they're in a good position to make it back-to-back wins, something that was rare for them last year. All about building a fortress at home, and 2 home wins on the bounce. As Umabachi goes into the book, a strong challenge. Marko Jesic and Nathan Milgate wanted a bit more than that. Brandon Vella, the man that was fouled there. Yama, deep set piece opportunity. Numbers 5 meters out from the 18-yard box. Headed away by Morich, taking no chances. Yes, it's the long throw specialist. Looking for something in the box. Milgate's the intended target. It's flicked on, but the Sharks do well to clear. Put back into the mixer by Suarez. It's come down here. Gulasano had to clear. Windust was on his back. And now Gulasano can get forward. Trying to take it around Oyama, who's strong in the challenge, and there's a bit of afters between them. Oyama's not happy. He's got to be careful there, Hiroaki Oyama. That's not the first time he's tried to do something after the tackle. Good switch by Oyama for Maya, and that cross comes to nothing. You can see that change at halftime has livened things up in midfield for Marconi, putting Hiroaki Oyama from that striker position back into midfield. He's buzzing around midfield alongside Suarez. And Vella and Maya on the wings with Bowman and Marko Jesic up top as Morich goes down clutching his ankles as he's fouled. No shortage of feeling in this one, whilst they're not traditional rivals. Battling for supremacy in the start of the season is always important, especially for Sutherland. Trying to turn around what was a tough start in the first 4 games without a win. Just a 1 draw in that time. And 1 point in 4 games. Certainly more than enough motivation to try and kick on in rounds 5 and 6 as they've done here. As for Marconi, they had an electric start in rounds 1 and 4, or 1, 2, 4 rather. 10 points in the first 4 games, and now staring down the barrel of back-to-back defeats. How quickly things turn in this competition. Gulasano just in from the sideline. Chance to whip this one in. Two in the wall for James Hilton. The Sharks, a chance at a second goal. Put a bit of distance between them and their opponents. Stamatellis flicks it on. Morich turns, tries to fashion a shot, drops it for McGowan instead. Here's Umabachi. They'll move it around here, Sutherland. McGowan takes on a couple of defenders as Katsuda tried to give it back to him. McGowan's still here. Big save by James Hilton. Back in the mixer it goes. Stamatellis is rising, puts it goalwards. Easily claimed as, well, I'm not sure what Max Green thought he was going to get out of that. Tried to block the clearance by Hilton. And now things pick up in pace. Maya. Suarez Didn't hear the call of man on as Katsuda tries to take it, left it behind momentarily, and the Sharks are racing away. McGowan, a chance to go one-on-one, but that's great defending by Cameron Windust. Held his ground and he needed to. McGowan in the hunt for his second. Can really feel the intensity rising at Seymour Shore. Umabachi. Yesic misjudged the bounce slightly. Lenarich puts it back into midfield. Well done by Hiroaki Oyama. Beats 3 defenders and finds the pass. Vela beaten to it by Gulasano. What a game he's having against his former side. Stamatellis. Katsuda. And so just over an hour gone at Seymour Shore, and whilst Marconi have come into this one, it's still the Sharks who continue to have the better of the chances. A big one in open play just before for Jay McGowan, as James Hilton's the busier of the two keepers between him and Nenad Vekic. Just a bit of hold up in proceedings. Over on the far side there, I think a bit of a dispute over which way the free kick was going. Windust, Oyama, and Jesic. Vela tries the switch. Maya's going to have to race hard to get to this one, but just runs out of room. As mentioned, Sutherland, despite their struggles down in the relegation battle last season, they were one of the best defensive sides in the league, and they've continued that here this afternoon. Ball curls in for Ethan Bevan, former Wollongong Wolf, alongside Nenad Vekic, making the trip north to the Sutherland Shire from the Gong. Twists in arms between Vekic and, or rather Green and Suarez, as Katsuda wanted it to continue, as trip there from Fernandez. And a bit after, as Oyama has 2 hands in the back here, and I think there might be a couple of cautions going each way there. As we said, Hiroaki Oyama, that's not the first time he's tried to do something after the challenge there, and now he goes into the referee's book, you'd like to think. You can see why he's frustrated, Oyama. He's been fouled probably the most out of any Marconi Stallion on the pitch. As he will escape sanction here, Hiroaki Oyama. And Marko Jesic continues discussions with the official in the centre, Sam Kelly. Certainly been one of their better players, has Hiroaki Oyama. Just has to be careful that he doesn't go into the referee's book here. Here is Oyama. Good play by Daniel Mlinaric. First touch pass finds the out through Hilton. Windust has his head up for the switch of play, but a bit short on the pass. Now McGowan. Somehow he's got it still, Jay McGowan, and he's won his side a foul. Again, Jay McGowan continues to impress. As mentioned, he didn't get a goal when he came across to Sutherland midway through 2023, but this season he's really started it off with a bang. Looks like Peter Sakanis might be making a handful of changes here. The substitutes have all come back to the bench. As Jesic looks to play Daniel over the top and finds him, but the bounce just holds him up momentarily. Daniel works the cross, looking for Meyer. It's come back out for Vella, but an important toe in there by Jay McGowan, doing his duties on both ends of the park this afternoon. Time continues to tick away for the Stallions. Still 1-0, 65 minutes gone. As Bowman crosses. Easy for Stamatellis to clear. Pass there by Millgate is intercepted, and Max Green can get racing away if he can get the other side of Suarez. Tries the chip, but always rising. As mentioned, Max Green still looking for that first goal in Sutherland colours, but that would have been a spectacular way to do it. Again, pouncing on the error at the back. Sharks are so dangerous on the counter. Katsuda has hands on Bowman. Easy call for Sam Kelly in the middle. Meyer to take this one. Low towards Jesic, who was getting down to try and direct it goalwards. It's come back out to Vella. Up goes Jesic again. This time he was offside, and again the Sutherland Sharks breathe a sigh of relief. I think a substitution might be coming, and a yellow card there. I'm not sure who it was for amongst the back play. I think Daniel Bowman is signalling for a sub here. It's been hard work out in the middle, as he's been pushed further up the park as of late. Vekic. Easy for Windust. Puts it towards Meyer. Nods it around the corner. Vella. Head up early, looking for Jesic. Now with Meyer still, goes down. Shoulder to shoulder, says the referee. Marconi aren't done yet. Shot on by Daniel, and always rising over the bar. Tensions are certainly rising now, just listening into the conversations around the pitch. Marconi might be going to the bench the first time this half, the second time this game. Dylan Susevic appears to be receiving instructions, and he has goals in him. Does Dylan Susevic. Yet to score for Marconi in first grade, but last season for the Mariners in the under-20s comp, he was on fire. 16 goals in 26 starts for the youngster. Type of guy that you want to bring on in this type of situation. So here comes that sub now, Dylan Susevic, coming on for Daniel Bowman. And he makes his way straight up there with Marko Jesic does Susevic, and here he is now. Meyer. Lovely ball back post if you can find Vela, but that would have been some delivery. Chesting it down and swinging it in hope of finding Vela. Brandon Vela, who didn't get a goal in 2023 or to start this season. Milinaric wins the header. Meyer. Garner strong as well. Turned over in midfield. Now Oyama can come the other way. Looking for something ahead of him. Only saw two sky blue shirts. This is now back and forth stuff at Seymour Shore. Both sides quickly turning over possession. Vela drifts inwards, allows the space for Susovic, who beats one, and left-footed attempt on goal easily blocked away. Morich takes it over the sideline. The Stallions continue. Just under 20 minutes for them to find the equaliser and maybe more. Susovic tried to put it back for Jesic, but again, Nenad Vekic. Still the quieter of the afternoon for the two keepers. And Morich might have landed awkwardly here, clutching at that ankle. So Sutherland, who haven't made a sub as of yet. As mentioned, they have plenty of options on the bench for them to go to. And this might prompt an impromptu drinks break here. Peter Sukenis and Steve Zorich getting stuck into their respective sides as we enter the final stanza of play here at Seymour Shore. Still, the Sutherland Sharks have that 1-0 lead courtesy of Jay McGowan. He's been very impressive to start 2024. For Marconi, they're looking to avoid the first game of the season in which they've been kept scoreless. Found the back of the net in each of the first 5 rounds. For now, Sutherland are doing a very good job of keeping them away from the back of the net. Fallen fortunately to Meyer, but Jay McGowan, and he's been tackled as well. And Meyer goes into the book for that challenge. Second man to do so alongside Milinaric. Jay McGowan looks to come off worse for wear here. It was a high effort into the shins of McGowan. Don't think there was any studs involved. And just looking back at the replay, both players going for the 50-50, and it was Meyer who was just a bit late. This might force a change here for Sutherland. Bit of pain you can tell is Jay McGowan. He's up and he's hobbling. I think he's a bit lucky that he doesn't have to come off the pitch and then go back on. He's received treatment. Usually that would mean he'd have to go over the sideline. Garner into the box it goes. A rare chance for the Sharks to get forward in the last 5-10 minutes. It's been Marconi who have really held on to it. And as we start to enter the final 15 minutes, you have to think the general state of the game will lean that way as Marconi push for the equaliser and the Sharks try and hold on to what they have. Brandon Vela. Oyama's made a long run and he's been rewarded for it. McGowan's tracked him all the way though. McGowan only has Max Green ahead of him. Tries to win a foul and only concedes a throw. counter could be brewing here for Sutherland, but pass was just a little bit behind Morridge, which forced him back to Ethan Bevan. Good header by Milinaric. Milinaric and Morridge. Bit of to and fro off the ball there is still. Here go the Stallions. Jesic trying to latch onto that cross along the ground. Still not cleared by Sutherland. Another wave of Marconi attack coming their way. George Daniel. Milinaric thought about going forward, decides to find safety in Meyer instead, who has his head up, looking for Nathan Milgate, who rises highest. Here goes Susovic. And there's the equaliser for Marconi. Dylan Susovic, the first goal for his new club. And what a goal to get it for the youngster. Coming across from the Mariners, he scored plenty of goals for their 20s last year. And he steps up at the best moment possible. A good win in the air by Milgate initially. It fell to Dylan Susovic, who wasn't picked up at all. Had all the time in the world to pick his spot, and he lashed it into the back of the net. And so Susovic, here he goes again. We spoke about the momentum shifting the way of the Stallions. They haven't been kept scoreless all season, and that won't start here this afternoon. Wonderful finish it was from Dylan Susovic. Close range, made no mistake with the finish. Had the striker's instinct to be there, did the youngster, as Sharks make a substitution. Matthew Morridge, who was injured just a short time ago, swapped out for James Kukovsky. And so now Sutherland have to be careful. They don't concede a second here. There's still plenty of time for Sutherland to go and get one. So Susovic, who's a barber by trade, he's come on and he's immediately cut up the Sutherland Sharks defence. Two balls on the pitch here, although they're not directly in the way of each other. You can see the spring in the step of the Marconi Stallions right now. They're buoyed on by that equaliser. Meyer to take the throw. And so it won't be back-to-back home clean sheets for Sutherland. They still have the chance to make it back-to-back home wins, but right now, if you had to pick a side to go on and win it, it'd have to be Marconi. Jesic across again to take this long throw. Goes for height this time. We'll receive it back. Oyama. And Jesic unable to keep it in, and chance for Sutherland to regroup themselves here. Meyer. Brendan Vella. Susovic. Marconi. biding their time, waiting for those holes to present themselves. George Daniel. Can feel a bit of a hush around Seymour Shore right now. They were well into this game before the home fans, but that goal will certainly turn the tides of this one. Mlinaric with the head. Sharks ball along the sideline. Steve Zorich just telling his side to keep things calm. Max Green thought he was being held back by Mlinaric. Instead, Marconi can counter. There's Kotaro Katsuda late in the challenge. He knew he was the man at fault. Maya. Easy catching practice there for Nenad Vekic. So Marconi, who are the favourites coming into this one, certainly looking like the favourites right now. Well, that won't look like that as they got mixed up in midfield. It's all for the best, though, as they have possession. Jesic spotted George Daniel, who has a couple of Sharks defenders for company. Here's Suarez. Tackled over the sideline. Marconi in a hurry now, knowing that time is of the essence. Under 10 minutes to go. Susovic. Oyama. Daniel cutting it back. Here's Jesic. And it goes again, Jesic. Big save by Vekic. And Marconi want the handball on Jacob Garner, but he's writhing in pain down on the turf. It hit him square in the chest. Was in the right place there to deny Marko Jesic. His first strike was definitely goalwards, even if his second might have been rising. Marko Jesic, who hasn't scored in 2024. Was instrumental to their work last year. Well, correct myself, he did score back against Olympic. He scored the winner. And wouldn't they love a winner right now? In comes the corner. Stamatelis wins it. And they can switch the play if they want, but I'm not sure they'd spotted Kotaro Katsuda bursting forward. Just looking back at that chance to Marko Jesic moments ago on the replay. No doubts there. Hadn't hit the hand of Jacob Garner. Maya lines up. And what a strike that is! From Maya. Out of absolutely nothing. It fell to him on the edge of the area. And he lashed it into the side netting. Franco Maya. His second goal for Marconi this year. And that might be one of the best they score all season. With his left, that is one of the best you'll see. Franco Maya, take a bow, son. Take a bow. Anton Mlinaric looked like he wanted it initially. Franco Maya said that he'll take it. And there was no doubt. Straight off the boot. Into the side netting. And Marconi have fully turned it around. From 1-0 down at half time to 2-1 up with just over 5 minutes to go. Nothing Nenad Vekic could do about that. The left-footed striker Franco Maya with a bit of slice on it as well to take it away from the outstretched arms of the keeper. And Sutherland find themselves in a tough position here, down one goal. Marconi might go on and get a third here the way they're playing. The substitutes, in the words of Peter Tsakenis, are working wonders here at Seymour Shore. McGowan trying to turn things around for Sutherland. Beats one defender, but there's too many green shirts around him. Tries to tackle Brandon Vella on the ground, and again, Sam Kelly uses his whistle. McGowan spotted the switch out to James Kokowski, and he's dragged down George Daniel there. And he's going to go into the book here, and that's an easy call for the official. He's had his arms around the shoulders or neck there of George Daniel, and he's gone down in some pain. Might be another forced substitution here for Marconi Stallions. Franco Meyer's goal right now is the difference. As mentioned, he was at St. George City last season. Played in every game for them. Scored only 4 goals though. He's already up to 2 in 2024. So Peter Tsakenis getting the best out of his new signing here. Wayward pass from Milinaric, and the Sharks can get forward. Foul on Jacob Garner, who looks like substitution has been made. That's Liam Rippon rather. Jacob Garner's at the back. Marconi gaining a bit of territory right now. Anywhere will do, just get it up the pitch. And they have to be careful though, even if they do have possession deep in Sutherland's half. We've seen how deadly the host can be on the counter. Windust wins it back. Again, Oyama goes for distance, and Marko Jesic will chase this down. And that pressure comes to the benefit of the Stallions, forcing the Sharks to clear it over the line, and more time ticking away to the benefit of the visitors. Vella with the cross, looking for Jesic. He's come back out to Meyer in search of his second, and Marconi's third. Quick little step overs. Franco Meyer crossing it, looking for Jesic, and almost found him had it not been for the intervention of Sam Gulisano. Rippon. Stamatellis, who's come forward from the centre-back position. Good pass, and Important touch from Anton Milinaric. Sharks look to make quick use of this corner. Gulasamo again to take this one. A likely opportunity from the corner here for Sutherland. That's how they got their first goal. Gulasamo towards the penalty spot. Up goes Stamatellis. Couldn't make the required connection, and away from the goal it goes. Into stoppage time we go. 5 minutes for the Sharks to find an equaliser, and 5 minutes for the Stallions to hold them out. Another corner coming. Good work by James Kukowski to win that one. And they go quickly. Gulasamo again towards the penalty spot. Not away from danger, but there it goes from George Daniel over the sideline. Garner. Vekic. Looking for Ripon up top and Stamatellis. The centre backs come forward. Plenty of tall timber to aim for. Here's Umabachi. Thought he had McGowan out wide, and Marconi can burst forward here. Susevic has Oyama and Jesic alongside him, but they're not in any hurry. Good challenge by Garner, but again, it's only a Marconi throw. And a substitution might be coming now for Peter Sekenis and the Stallions. And so it'll be Luke Rasso making his way on in the closing stages of this contest. And Franco Meyer gets deserved early shower. His goal right now, the difference, and what a goal it was. One of the best in these opening few rounds of 2024. Franco Meyer with his second of the season, Marconi's second of the game, and it might prove to be the winner as he's just struggling with something in his eye as he comes off. Certainly one for the highlight reel, his goal. Stamatellis tries to hoof it forward. Kukowski and Ripon. Ethan Bevan looking for Jay McGowan, but a bit of a height differential there between him and Millgate. Ripon tries to force his way through. A battle with Milinaric, and Milinaric wins it and goes down with the slightest bit of theatrics. Not much time left for Sutherland to get this equaliser. Hilton tries to put it into the corner. Susevic brings it down. Gulasamo finds Stamatellis, but he's surrounded. Quickly moves it on though. Good vision by Garner. Bevan takes it on the chest. And Katsuda has Rasso on his back. The green shirt's all around him. Bit of shirt pulling there from the substitute, and the Sharks don't want to lump it into the box. They want to catch this Marconi defence off guard. Gulasamo floating, and it's only into the arms of James Hilton, who is in no hurry to get us back underway. So just a couple minutes maybe left for Sutherland at the discretion of the referee now. We've had a couple of extra stoppages in additional time. Maybe one last attack or two left for the host to salvage a point. The 4 losses in their opening 6 games, if this result were to hold, Conversely, for the Stallions, it would be 4 wins in their first 6 games. Very contrasting starts to 2024 for both these two sides. Cheeky nutmeg from Stamatellis. Ripon keeps the attack going. Has spotted McGowan free on the wing. Jay McGowan, the goal scorer, trying to inspire the Sharks to an equaliser. Oyama blocks it, goes down. Don't think there was anything in that. Garner. Bevan beats the first defender and whips it in towards Katsuda. Tries the bicycle kick. Here's McGowan. Sliced it a little bit. And that meant it sailed over the bar. That might have been it for Sutherland. Decent half chance to end the game, but they'll be ruining those opportunities they had in the first half and the early part of the second half. But that'll do us from Seymour Shore. The Stallions get a comeback win away from home. They found themselves down 1-0 at halftime. A goal from Dylan Susovic off the bench and a stunner from Franco Meyer. Those are the 2 goals they got to end the second half as they continue their fine form despite losing last week. 4 wins in their opening 6 games as they shoot right up the table. A good effort from Peter Sekena's side as they found themselves in trying conditions away from home. It's been Will Constantinides on commentary for you from the Shire. Be sure to stick with us on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Plenty more NPL men's action coming your way across the weekend.